Won't ever let me go. You can keep your fast. I'ma take it slow. Ticket on that last train, and I'ma make it home to my people, my tribe, my village, my vibe, my Beatles, my Jackson 5. My reason, my rhyme, my ready anytime. Yeah, everything is alright when we come together. Come together, my people, my tribe. When we come together, come together, everything is alright. I don't want no trouble, just a little rest for my soul. And I know where to run to when the world gets cold. Ooh, my people, my tribe, my village, my vibe, my Beatles, my Jackson 5. My reason, my rhyme, my ready anytime. Yeah, everything is alright when we come together. Come together, my people, my tribe. When we come together, come together, everything is alright. Everything is alright. Everything is alright. Everything is alright.
Well, my temperature's thousand ever feet left the floor. Crazy people knocking.
So you heard none of it?
I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm not a therapist. It's not my training.
So?
I don't have the
What, the time?
temperament.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I got soul. Alright. I got soul. Alright. I got soul. Alright. I got soul. Alright. Got to know how to hold it. Like on him a romance. say it one time. I'll hit you with it hard. I got soul. I got soul.
DC, Redwood, Fayetteville, got me get ill. Eastside New York, from Master Flex, King Back. Southside Birmingham, West Coast, show me love. The man West Century Club, Uncle Luke get loose. I'm Platinum Brown, now raise the roof. Raise the roof, put 'em up there, raise the roof. 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 Put 'em up there. Put 'em up there. Put your hands up high. Let me see you raise the roof. Raise the roof. Put your hands up high. Let me see you raise the roof. Raise the roof. Raise the roof. Raise the roof. I love you. Man.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Been around for long, long years. Stole many man's soul to waste. And I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. Made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you. Hope you get smiling. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game.
You're a man of many talents.
Junior, don't call me that, please. Jones boys.
Those people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad!
It's a new experience for me. Happens to me all the time.
How dare you kiss me?
Are you crazy? Don't go between them!
Go between them, are you crazy?
From Studio One, nestled in the heart of Calgary, welcome to Aaron Gibson's Soul Man Live. Bringing you that moment of joy in your day to ignite your inner phoenix and fly. Today's featured guests, you. And now it's time to put your Hulk hearts up and welcome your big burly hug host, Aaron Gibson.
Hello, you epic souls. Oh my God, look at you lighting up the comments this evening, and I'm so happy to see you all. I can't thank you enough. Last week was amazing, and you just took me by surprise. The love and support that I got and shared with you all, like there's not enough appreciation in the world to share it with you all in one lifetime. So let me take 1,000,000 lifetimes to share it in the time that I have now. So thank you again for last week. It was phenomenal. Thank you to Barbie Parsons, Barbie the welder. Amazing, amazing experience. And I just wish we had had more time to share on her story. Again, connect with her and genuinely start to get to know her, because she is an amazing soul that has risen up. So many amazing things also going on LinkedIn right now. And oh my, like I have caught one thing I didn't get a chance to really reflect on last episode was just the amazing audios that are going on right now and the videos that are coming out from people. Like, I'm loving this. This is awesome. Everybody, generating their own creativity out there, adding their own little piece of them out into LinkedIn is just phenomenal to watch. And I've caught a lot of the little video segments that you can see on LinkedIn when you're, checking up on your connections. So it's been fantastic, amazing audios. Melissa Houston and Felipe Cofino. I know I've seen Felipe in the comments there earlier, and I know Melissa was catching the show last. My God, these two have such synergy. So if you ever get a chance to catch out these two in action, their synergy, their love, their friendship, their brother-sister relationship, and the brilliance that they bring and insights that make you reflect when you basically walk away from every audio of theirs, you're going, I could really focus on this a little bit more. It's that constant evolution, that constant communication, and their conversations on communication, I just got to say, needs to be a 7-part TED Talk series. It was that good. Other amazing audios going on. Marguerite Martinez, I seen you in the comment. Such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful spirit, always pushing that positivity. And honestly, yes, in our worlds, we can get caught up in the negative. We can totally start to focus on it. We can fall off kind of that wagon and start to just, this is the here and the now. And I can even relate because I was there once myself. And it's a process. It's the universe. We've got a VIP guest in our green room this evening, and she speaks loudly on the universe. She is also one of our sponsors of this evening of Soul Man Live, period, and that is Leslie Flowers Enterprises. We've got Leslie Flowers in our VIP guest room at the chef's table right now. We've gotten Arata food actually transported in special for her so that she can enjoy some food from home while she's visiting the show here right now. Big shout out and love to my baby sister, Nicole and Guy Galindo, and the Gifted Bipolar Writer. A trilogy, a LinkedIn love affair. By far, like one of the, I was shocked when she took this on, and it is a monstrous project that she took on, and she has risen out of those ashes to really take this head on and overcome and make it happen. So big applaud and love to my baby sister, Nicole and Guy Galindo, for the amazing things she's doing both on her audios and on her live show and authoring of books. One thing that I wanted to share that I just kind of missed out on before I get too far is that, strangely enough, I received a very special package today, Friday. I love Fridays. Friday's that time for all of us to come together. And I got handed a little kind of paper envelope, and I open it up and my jaw hit the floor. I officially have my first paper copy of The Possibility of Errata in my hands, available on Amazon. Please, please, please. This is an amazing new world that Leslie has made. And like I've said before, it's like Valerian. It's a mix of like Valerian and the Planet of 1,000 Cities or something like that, and the Chronicles of Shannara. It's magical. It's exciting. It's new. It's fresh. And when we haven't had that much, and we've had a couple good successes in sci-fi, I feel. However, there's other areas that I feel that we've been totally lacking, and this is an amazing opportunity. So, I mean, anybody that decides to pick this up and get movie rights to is this is going to blow up, and there will be multiple series. I'm pretty sure I can feel it in the universe. Not to put too much pressure on Leslie, though. Shout out to Voice Your Vibe. My brother and sister, Brian Schulman and Nancy Deborah Barrows, always by my side, picking me up every step of the way, and me reciprocating as well. Nothing but love for them both right now, who are chilling out in the producers backstage, or the remote studio. What do I normally? Oh, the control room. That's what I'm looking for. Anyways, big love to them, because they are, as much as they've got through in their week, they are still here and they are still in full effect, yo. So I got to give nothing but all my love to Voice Your Vibe, that essentially created this show. And lastly, big shout out to Jennifer Penfold, sweetnessandlightinfusions.com. You want some amazing honey and an amazing honey experience, either with your tea. I've actually used it in coffee. It's amazing. And the blends that she does, like the aroma that you get from it, I don't have a very good sense of smell after the Army. I was kind of in a weird experience in the CS gas hut, so I didn't get really a good chance to really smell much after that. But I can smell this honey, and it is just amazing. It's something you got to experience and try. Okay. Wow. Yes, you all are blowing it up out there. Thank you, Sharon Byrne. Thank you, Leslie Flowers. That's actually Marguerite Martinez. I see you, because you're the only. I caught you when we were doing comments earlier. I'm sorry that your picture isn't showing up. Just thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to StreamYard for housing Soul Man Live. And now it's time to start introducing our special guest this evening, Michelle Ramos. We met. It hasn't been long. However, when you meet a fellow soul that can relate and be down to earth and human and honest and candid with their feelings, that family, that relationship starts to grow. And it was just, in the first couple of messages back and forth that I captured, I could see her potential here. And without question, she is an up and coming superstar. If she's not a superstar already, I honestly think she's a superstar already. But that's my own personal opinion, and I never force that on anybody else. That's up to you to decide. However, I wasn't wrong when I was quoting the $6 million man quote. However, I rephrased it in the fact that Michelle Ramos is literally the bionic woman. She is a $6 million woman, and when things really start to blow up for her, and I can see that they're going to happen soon, it's really going to blow up for her. And I just can't wait to be a part of that process and that journey. So how has she rebuilt herself? Well, I don't want to get too far into it without bringing her up here. However, I've caught her audios. And the one thing that sometimes we get caught up in time, but I want her to actually share her story, because from beginning to end, it is very similar to a path that we all take, which is we can run into some really dark times. We can start off kind of shaky, and then we can run into some really dark times. However, we can rise above, and we can come into a new era of perspective and create something new and beautiful. And that is exactly what she is doing for herself. That's what she's doing here on LinkedIn. And her words speak beyond words. And I just can't wait to have her up here. So without further ado, of course, please, our production team, somebody bring up Michelle Ramos. Hello, my lady. Let's do a mic check with you, because you were concerned about that backstage. Okay, you got to unmute though first. Beautiful. Thank you.
Mic check.
You got it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am so.
How you doing, machine?
I'm here. I'm excited. The nerves are there. Gotta let them. Once we get going, it'll just easily be. But thank you for that introduction. That was very heartfelt and beautiful and appreciated.
You are appreciated. You are shining a light out there. You were. Was it? is it Aaron Brockovich comes to mind when I think of you,
I
right?
really have been told that a lot.
Except you're the new level. You're the next level, which is amazing. So for those, obviously we've brought you on stage now. We'll let you kind of relax a little bit and tell everybody where you're from and a little bit about yourself right now before we start getting into some of the tough stuff, because we want to give a warning tonight.
That was the one thing I was trying to avoid this evening. So if he howls, I apologize. He just came in the door.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was my bad. Sorry. No, I'll take that one. No, we're good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, yes.
Oh wow!
Like
shouldn't have eaten those beans earlier. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, people who listen or tune into the shows that Keith and I do, they know Cody very well. So I'm Michelle Ramos. I am from Florida.
Okay, take your time, Michelle. It looks like your audio just dropped out. Don't worry about it. We got you. We're just gonna give a second here for Michelle to get back on. Yeah, I noticed that she's frozen right now. So we're just gonna hold this time and space for her until she comes back. While she's just getting booted back up again, some of the things that I wanted to let you know about Michelle that I've caught just in this past week was an amazing time when she was sharing her experiences on Dr. Constance Leland's 50 most inspirational connections on LinkedIn. And she really opened up, and she's got a side of vulnerability to her that I can't wait until she's back here to share with you. And that's honestly where I feel some of us are afraid to go at times. However, it's necessary in order to move forward, and she really embraces that. Are you back, my lady?
My child just pulled the Ethernet cable out of the back of the modem.
It's all good. We've got you here. Don't worry about it.
We are connecting onto Wi-Fi, so I hope that that's okay.
You're fabulous. Don't worry about it. I don't care how choppy it is. It's your message and the person that you are that we are celebrating tonight, and just can't wait for you to share. And yeah, we will work through as long as it takes to make sure that you are heard this evening. We are going to make sure of it. So the floor is yours, my lady. Again, we'll get you to start again, and just again, we heard Florida, and then you blanked out. So please, just again, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Florida, but basically was raised in Northeast Ohio. I went back to Florida a couple times, but here I am, and I am raising my daughter on my own. I'm the founder of Don't Raise Statistics, where I think it's safe to say that I'm an activist, and I do a lot of extreme advocacy and just more litigation, legal type work, attempts to change policies and just make the systems and sectors that are broken like more inclusive and relatable to just daily life and real human existence, because don't everybody live in that top 1%. Outside of that, I'm a barber, a survivor of everything. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not necessarily quote unquote jack of all trades. It's the cathartic catalyst. I want to just make spaces that are safe and you can be vulnerable, and there can be non-judgmental conversations. You can have the hard conversations that people usually deflect, but it's safe. And that's just what I try to do in every aspect of life. So,
and here, and we've talked about it, is that the people that we see here that come onto the show, the kindness just isn't born overnight. Yeah, we're born with we're born with a segment of humble and kind when we're born, and then we kind of grow up a little bit, and then we're treated a little bit to the harshness of what the world can provide, which can be very grueling and very destructive and toxic. So for you, I would like you to take about the next, I'm trying not to put a time frame on here, but take the next 10 minutes and just take us through a little walk leisurely and at your time. And at any point, if you feel uncomfortable, you know what, take a break. I've got you 100% of the way throughout this. And if you don't feel comfortable answering it, please just, express that you don't want to talk about it. I don't want you triggered. I care about you and I don't want anything, adverse to come out of this. We just want to share that story so that those silently struggling with the same adversities can see, just how bad it can be and then how great it can become. Because the woman we see here on screen right now is a sliver of what happened in the past. However, you are sharp, you are witty, and you have a mind about you that is deadly accurate that I really enjoy. So take us through a little walk of your life, and then we'll start diving into some of the other questions.
So the farthest that I can take anybody back is to 8 years old. So my first memory of life was a very traumatic incident. And that's when, obviously, I didn't learn about PTSD or any of those things then, but that's when it began. And so what had happened was, do you remember those like Power Wheel cars when early 90s, like the Corvette, and you could just drive, So the steering wheel is connected to a crankshaft that controls those little tires. That metal rod had come through the steering wheel and from behind went up through me. And I don't remember that, but I remember waking up in the hospital with a colostomy, and I was 8, and that was my new life. That's what I knew. That was a really hard part of life. I don't think I really talked about that a lot with people. Not because I don't want to, but coloscopies are just, anybody that has them, it's not to say they're nasty. It was never explained to me to understand it. So for me, I felt not good. I felt dirty. I felt bad. So I just blocked it out the best I could. Once all like the intestinal damage like healed, it had been about 3 or 4 months. They were able to take away the colostomy. So I was really, really blessed to be able to have the reversal of it, just months later. But apparently what I've learned is that doesn't take away the incident that damaged my mental state. So moving forward, when I was like 11-ish, going on 12, like I started getting these Charlie horses, and the doctors are just like, take potassium pills, eat bananas, drink water, all these things about how like it's growing pains. And by the time that my parents were able to find a doctor that actually wanted to take it seriously, it had probably been about like 9 months. And I was just turning 12, and my left hip was broken and had been broken that whole time. And by the time that doctor found it, it had like slipped 9 inches out of socket. So the way that if you stand and you're facing forward, your toes face forward. Back then, when that happened to me, my left leg had the Charlie horses was because as the hip slipped out of socket, it was turning out. So all the Charlie horses was the bone ripping from the muscle. So by the time I had surgery, my toes were where my heel was, and my heel was where my toe was. The leg had fully turned. So I ended up being in a wheelchair for 3.5 years. It was in a hospital bed in my parents' living room. And that was a really dark time of life. But that was a lot. But it was like the moment I got to like get up and walk again, that was kind of life changed. Because I don't have that great of a family life in the sense that it's always been dysfunctional, but I thought that was normal because even people
you were kind of forced to grow up early, weren't you? Sorry, I was I just had to ask.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So,
but that's what got me kicked out of high school.
So, if you were to put an age to it, though, like what age do you feel that you kind of came to that conscious awareness of there's more going on here?
At 15 years old, I got kicked out of high school knowing I wasn't like the other kids. Like I couldn't handle just being around them. It was like their maturity level and like what I had just, who I was, it didn't match. Like things they would do, it was not my level. I didn't like their conversations. I wasn't into the things they were doing, which in my mind, I thought it was them, but nobody was telling me that the reality was it was me, because I just didn't have exposure to it. I was only exposed to adults for 3.5 years. So I was never around kids my age to know what kids were supposed to be doing, if that makes sense.
Absolutely makes sense.
Right. So, but I mean, they sent me, basically, it's like they kicked me out of all the regular schooling, and they were doing a pilot program back then for an alternative type high school, basically for what they were calling the delinquents. They were calling us the kids they couldn't control, which in retrospect, knowing now what I know, it was all the kids that just needed to be taught a different way. We all we just couldn't form to their how they do it, but we all still got our high school diplomas. And I did 3.5 years of school. Like I got my high school diploma when I was 15 and a half, going on 16. I didn't even graduate with my class. And almost all the kids in the program, that was the same. We were just months and years early, and they were saying that we were unable to be taught and couldn't, be in classes with other kids. And we all did amazing. But then home life, about 16 is when I left, basically. I never really had a good, great relationship with my parents, which, I mean, I just have the relationship I had with them, but that's all I knew. But then when I started learning how other people's relationships were, and I started getting to experience life, not being stuck in a hospital bed there, it was that's when the defiance started. That was when it was, this is what I'm gonna go do what I want to do. But I didn't have the mentors, and I never was in the environments that I should have been in. So me being defiant was very toxic, and it wasn't, what I embraced today, if that makes sense. It was the drug dealing. It was doing the drugs. It was being around nobody.
Hold on, Michelle, before we get into that. So before we start getting into, because again, we're trying to compact your life into such a short amount of time. If you could just use 2 words to describe your life from that period of your conscious awareness to where you were hitting 16, what 2 words would you describe your life as?
Just honestly, I don't even have a word that's coming to mind. It's speechless. It's bad.
Okay.
I would never want somebody to ever experience probably just one thing I've been through in life, and they just heard about 2 things and the first 2 significant things. So
so could you describe your feelings at that time? Could you summarize them in 2 words? So I feel it was chaos for you. It was chaos. There was
it was
unstable,
unseen, unheard. Those are probably the best 2 words, not seen and heard. So yeah.
Thank you.
Because through those situations, it's a lot of you're a child, and especially back in that time frame of life, it is the whole do as you're told. Kids are seen, not heard. Issues aren't spoken out of outside the walls. It was all those things growing up. So it was, and with my life, it was always doctors telling me what I had to do, nurses telling me what I had to do. When I had that colostomy, it was obviously traumatic, and I didn't eat, and it was just messed up. And I just one day the doctors came in and they put this feeding tube down my nose, and I ripped it out. And then because I ripped it out, obviously there's lots of blood, but then they tie me to a bed for 3 days until I promised I wasn't going to rip out the feeding tube. They put down, you know, my nose right after I ripped out, they put it down the other side. So it is like, that's trauma. But back then I didn't know that. Like back then it was, you have to do what they say. It wasn't, nobody asked me how that felt. How.
Take your time. Just take your
I
time.
honestly
Okay?
think you're the first person to ever ask me how that felt. Like I've really never ever thought about just how it felt. And like that was really scary.
Well, from my soul to yours, I'm really sorry you had to experience that.
And I am too. Like
And
I don't want
it
nobody
just
to
didn't.
ever.
Well, I've got you through this, and I really thank you for being vulnerable and sharing about that. And it's an important thing to know, you know, to reflect on those feelings when you look back at it, because it's something to reward yourself in the here and the now. So this was just the tip of the iceberg for you too, wasn't it? This was like I paused you for a reason, and that's because we're going to hit. And again, I want to give some serious trigger warnings on what Michelle is about to share. It's not for the faint of heart, and please, if you must walk away from this conversation, please do so. We don't want you triggered here. We
I've
want this
had
to be a learning.
therapists put on me because I triggered them. So like it's not a joke. Like it's I've had therapists quit because they told like I triggered them, and they just, that's why I didn't do mental health therapy for so long, because that happens. And most people, like, that wouldn't even be, that's unfathomable. Like they would never think of a therapist saying something like that. So
well, I got you through this, and I've got nothing but big burly hugs every step of the way while we do this. Okay. And I thank you again. That's some very vulnerable information. I thank you for sharing it, because there is others that can learn from that. And I appreciate
and that's
you
the thing.
going
Like
there.
I ask anything, because you know so much. Like we've had, like you and I have had so many intimate private conversations, and like that's why I don't look at comments. That's why I don't have my phone, because this is just you and I talking.
Absolutely. That's late night talk, mental health talk. So now, again, I just want to again reiterate a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about some very in-depth dark stuff for those that might be the perspective and the way you see it. However, it's important that we share the story, because it's a story about rising from that darkness that I really want you to hear, and how Michelle has literally rebuilt herself, and why she has earned the title of the Bionic Woman. So please, Michelle, we'll carry on from the time that you were 16 and on, and I've got you every step of the way. Okay.
So, I mean, it was doing a lot of dumb stuff, like, but when I was 18, I was told by the doctors that because of that accident when I was 8, they didn't think I was ever going to be able to have a baby. And again, societal norms, status quo, like, you're a woman, you're going to grow up, you're going to find a husband, you're going to get a house, you're going to have a baby. Like, that is what you're going to do. So for me, being told at 18 that the baby was never coming, and then being told, you know, like in taking in that, you know, if a man can't have a child with you, like, you're useless, you know? So so for me, it was, well, what's the point? That's what life's supposed to be, right? Like, because that's what I was told, and that's what I saw. Like, so I didn't know it to be anything different. So all them years of being unheard and unseen, and then now thinking that my life is over, like, and then on top of all of that, I was never taught emotional regulation. So it was so much easier to live that illegal lifestyle, because that adrenaline and that what it was fulfilling within me was like I needed something, like I don't know, I didn't know back then what I was seeking, because but I knew that when I was jumping in a car and driving, different states and just I was a drug dealer. I hate saying that. It's so bad. But like when I was dealing drugs, like that adrenaline, the money and the hustle and the bustle, like that's what I was addicted to. Because yes, I was doing really heavy and bad drugs, but the moment I was blessed to pee on a pregnancy stick and find out I had her in my stomach was that moment. I've never touched them again. And I've never felt I feel bad. I don't know what it's like to go through detox. I don't know what withdrawals are. I withdraw the money and the hustle and bustle and the lifestyle I lived. And me and my therapist, actually, I have an amazing therapist now. And we talk about this all the time, that there needs to be more conversation around drug dealing being an addiction. Because I personally believe if that was to be treated like an addiction, so many people would be able to get better and not do illegal things, because it's not necessarily like the drug addict is addicted to the drugs. They're addicted to escaping something in their life that isn't okay. And if you can just help them understand it and process it and find healthy ways to deal with it, like mental health and our prison systems, like foster care, so many things would be so much better in our world if we just changed things. But through all of this though, right? So I got, obviously, I said that I got sober when I found out I was pregnant. But if we back up some, in 2006, I started like getting like headaches. My eyes I thought maybe needed glasses. I don't know. Like my vision, it was different enough to notice something. But back then, that lifestyle, I didn't. It was 2008. I finally went to go to the eye doctor, because like 2 years later, by the time I went to the eye doctor, it was like a permanent dark storm cloud was in my eyes. So we're like looking at you now and it's so bright and colorful, like that was shaded out and it was fading away. And I was like, okay, well, time to go see the eye doctor. But that eye doctor basically saved my vision, because he dilated the eyes. And when he looked in, like he wouldn't even say nothing to me. He was like, you need to go to the hospital right now. By the time I get to the hospital, I guess he had already called him. They were like, we need to do a spinal tap. And I'm, whatever. Why? They're like, well, your brain is swelling. And this doctor just said that how swollen it is and how you're about to go blind. Like any moment, it could happen. That's the shadows are because the nerve endings on the ends of the optical nerves. Once they swell so much, there's just nowhere left to swell. They'll start dying. So they did the first spinal tap, and they was like, well, when we put this needle in, normally it's like an 11, like it's a low number, 7, 8, 9, 11. The very first spinal tap that I had it registered 58, and they had to keep getting little containers to keep catching the fluid that was coming out of my back, because they said they had never seen that. So for like 2 years, I probably had like 25, 30 spinal taps. Like every time that the migraines would come and I could feel like the fogginess, like they would do a spinal tap. And again, it would be elevated. Like it wouldn't be elevated to the 58, but sometimes 40s, sometimes high 20s. So they finally, in 2010, I had a traumatic spinal tap. And that's when they say we need to do a brain shunt. Like this is just becoming too much. And
Michelle, I got to ask you a question though. Like that's I don't know from I have heard about a spinal tap and the amount of excruciating pain that is involved in that. And like, 30?
Do you know what an epidural is?
Oh yeah,
Like when a
no,
woman has a baby, they put
I'm
their big needle
familiar.
into the back. That's a spinal
So
tap.
so I mean, for somebody that's going through that pain, that's going through the same kind of journey that you've gone through, when like the redundancy of that like having to know that that's what's coming when you go in for your surgery or get this application done, like where did you put your mind when you knew that that pain was coming?
Uh-huh. It's like I just go into
Did you
this
just blank out
dark,
or
pitch black room. Yeah. It's like like something I more recently learned about myself is that I have something called like aphantasia. I'm not capable of mental visualization. So unless I've experienced it or physically seen it with my own eyes, if I was to read like a fiction book that I have no idea what it's about, I can't read fiction books. Like in my mind, when you're supposed like to be building the pictures of what you're reading, I can't do that, and I actually get anxious, and I have panic attacks sometimes because I feel trapped in my mind. And every time these things would happen through life, that's just where I would go. I'd close my eyes and be stuck in the dark spot, and you just hold on and wait for it to be over. And I
I
think
just I just applaud
you
you.
get used to the physical pain, and the physical pain isn't what hurts. It's the mental and emotional pain that hurts. Like I have a very high pain tolerance. Like physically pain wise, it's very hard to hurt me. Like I broke a couple ribs and went around living life for like 4 days before I finally couldn't breathe enough to go to a doctor. Like the physical pain for me it's I guess you're right, bionic woman.
And the scares don't end there for you, do they? Like you were telling me, and I actually learned about this today. I didn't know that was the actual name associated with it, but like when you told me, please share it with everyone. The big scare, like it's not easy for you to go into a hospital or anything like that because there is a good possibility that somebody could give you the wrong thing and you could pass away. So please tell us a little bit about that, like because again, these kind of things are circling in your brain. And then I finally want to ask where you came to really just rise from the ashes and reclaim your world. And the person that you are now is just, again, when we play your mental health break montage in a few minutes here, like you have literally gone from night to day.
Thank you.
All
It's
right.
a
And
lot of work.
again, there's so many they're going to learn from this journey and the share, that you've given us in this moment of vulnerability, that are suffering through the same kind of things that you are. Um, your insights are priceless here, and we just want to help those and provide the voices. And you
Thank
are doing a
you.
beautiful job.
I just want to help anybody that needs to know that they're not alone, or there's somebody else out there that it's been worse or just as bad or any of it, like, because it's not talked about enough. So so when I was 8 and I had that first surgery, it was really, I guess I was told that it was really hard to wake me up from the surgery. And like they had complications, the first, both those surgeries. After that had happened though, and I had my first, because I had 3 hip surgeries, that those 3.5 years I was in that hospital, but they did 3 different surgeries. So the first one happened and I woke up, had fevers, and I was trying to fight nurses. I was covered in hives. It was really bad. So then in between that surgery and the middle one, my mom, her kidney was shutting down and they had to rush her into emergency surgery. And when they put her to sleep, she didn't wake up for 3 months. So what we learned is that she was allergic to the anesthesia. And with malignant hypothermia, if the hospital doesn't have the antidote to give almost immediately, that basically you're going to die. So, and it can happen just in minutes. But when they learned this about my mom, and then they put together the pieces from my first 3 surgeries, that's when we learned I have the malignant hypothermia. So I needed an emergency, because with the brain surgeries, there's been 12. So like one of them was emergency, wasn't even in the city. It was a hospital I'd never been to. They knew nothing about me. It took a surgery that probably should have been happening within minutes of walking in. It took 7 hours to get into the operating room. And that's because it has to be that meticulous. Like everything needs to be sterilized. No possibility of, a normal use like Profate. No normal anesthesia could be in that hospital. So it's like, I don't know, I probably had like 25 surgeries, maybe. Every time, I know I have to go into it knowing I could not wake up ever again. I mean, like the statistics I believe are like, it's maybe 80% or 90%. It basically like most doctors within the entire world will never treat a patient with malignant hypothermia. It's just that uncommon, which is why, at least what I've learned here nationally within the US, that not every hospital carries the antidote. And so, yeah, that's
like my heart just races hearing about this now. And thank you, my brother. If you could just, again, Nick we've got questions that are coming up, and we're going to take a moment before we give you kind of your special moment to reflect on all the amazing souls that have shown up here tonight to support you. However, we've got some questions. So Nicole's asking, what is your medical health condition today?
Which one? I'm still active.
Tell us them all if you want to tell us them all.
So let's see. Currently I should be having, like right now, I get iron infusions, just like maintenance things health wise that need to happen like that. I have to have like brain scans every year. You got to see neuro-ophthalmologist. My eyes have to be checked. Recently I was like hopeful like maybe the brain shunt could come out. Like maybe it just got better over the last 15 years, I was hoping, but he definitely informed me that through the eyes, he's able to tell the optical nerves are still swelling. So I'll definitely have to have like another brain shunt, I'm sure, at some point in my life. I've had a hip replacement. So I used to weigh 450 pounds. So when you're that heavy and then you have a joint that is operated on, that arthritis, so it was like fused together. So I needed a hip replacement so bad. That was excruciating physical pain. I hated it, but every day I walked it like for over a decade. And then they said they would never give me the replacement weighing over, I had to be 200 pounds or less. So having Angelina was like, I didn't even care when they told me that. I didn't even care about myself enough back then to commit to like changing my life. I just dealt with the pain. But then when I had my daughter, and that was it. I had to get healthy. I needed to lose the weight. I needed to get the hip replacement. I needed to do what I had to do to make sure that I was going to be here for her. And so that it's just really maintaining that. It's like a full lifestyle change. It's not just one thing. It's not just, you're not going to lose 260 pounds just starting a diet. I'm sorry. It's not to burst nobody's bubbles. Like, yeah, that's a great initial first step. But if you're not changing who you are around, and you're not changing how you shop and changing what you're doing and what you think, and if your entire life isn't changing, it's like you're just going to be stuck in a vicious cycle. So like medically, there'll be more surgeries. My life has led me to create Don't Raise Statistics, and just everything I'm doing for that, then it's, I don't know.
Okay,
like,
so don't go spilling some of the good beans before we get there.
The epilepsy, I'm trying to think in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
so the epilepsy, the very first brain surgery gave me epilepsy. So there's that. It's like if I had a seizure, I was at barber school, had a seizure at school, and like apparently my face met the toilet. If you guys ever see black eye pictures in history photos on social media, nobody hit me. Like that was a toilet. Like, but it was a beautiful black eye. I had to keep sharing it. I was proud of it. Like I survived.
Well,
Look at that, y'all.
we've got
People were
we've got
mad
a
back
little bit.
then when I was sharing it.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, they were
Honestly,
really mad.
and just so you know, my production team is going crazy in the background. There's like, we need to have a part 2 with you, and I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. Because again, there's so much of your story that people can gain insight from. However, let's give them a little taste.
This isn't even
All right. Before we do that, though, I did see a question from Leslie Flowers, and she asked if you used Lamaze to help manage pain.
No.
Just general pain. No?
No, I never learned the importance of any holistical approach to anything in life until the last 2 years of my life. It was close my eyes and go to a dark room and wait for it to be over.
We're definitely going to have you back for a part 2. We're going to work it into the schedule. I know that we will have to we'll have to have a bonus episode for you to come back on. But just so you're aware, and I know how contagious butts are out there. All right, I was butt dialed earlier today, just so you know, that's how contagious they are. All right, we've got an opportunity for you to come and visit with us again, and that's going to be on Halloween night when we have a great big open party for all the previous special guests on Soul Man Live, where you can come back and you can share a little bit more, and then we will look at scheduling a part 2 for season 3. All right, awesome. Because you are going big places, and I just want to take a moment to again recognize the people that have come here to support you this evening, and appreciate the vulnerability that you've shared with us here this evening. We've got Sharon Byrne, and I just seen Lydia Lowry Bustler. Rachel Garnett was here. I mean, okay, yeah, let's get the team. Brian just said, "I like your butt." You what? Okay. Hello, Noni Varani. Great to see you here this
Pepperoni. Evening. That's Noni Pepperoni.
Chris Monaster, thank you for being here. Willie J, oh, I love you, brother. I'm so proud of you right now. He's just killing it out there. Sharon Byrne, thank you so much for your love and support.
So yes, seeing these comments.
Well, I know I seen Mike up there earlier too. We had some of the hounds roaming around there. Hello, Felipe. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your support and love. Nothing but love for Annie, and it was a great time when he came on here to support you though this evening. Amaka, great to meet you. I think you're a new soul here. Leslie Flowers, always of course our VIP in the back, enjoying her time in the at the chef table. Mike Ashbringer Branner, coming here to show his love and support. Great cat. Kinga, so great to see you. I still got to catch up with her. I feel so bad. I have not gotten a chance. Lygia, I think is how you pronounce that. Lygia? We're trying. Of course, Brian Schulman sending his love to you both. And I mean, you should have seen some of the comments. I didn't get a chance because I didn't want to interrupt you. But I mean, Nancy was throwing up some beautiful comments in support of you. There's Lisa. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, we did see Marguerite earlier, and we had Stephanie King here.
Oh my God, that is my best friend. Like there's a part of the story we haven't said, but she's significant. And I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry just seeing her.
Lachelle Atkins, I did see her pop up. Always a treat getting a chance to see her. Make sure you reach out, and if you haven't, I'm pretty sure you know Lachelle right by now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, she's a beautiful soul, and just appreciate her every time she appears. Of course, we had Nick, and then we just had my two sisters up here on screen. We had Nick, and we had Nancy just a moment ago. There we go. There's my other sister. All right, slaying the day. Oh, Dina Fortune here this evening. You got to connect with her as well. She is,
I believe
she's one of those people. Yeah. Oh, you are? Okay, perfect. You know what? Honestly, you're gonna be
so it's nothing disrespectful.
I think you're the superstar already. Gabe Leal here in the house tonight. Thank you so much for being here to support Michelle. All right. Are we? I think
They're
we're
so
kind of.
amazing. I know, like almost every
Oh,
name I see, I know. I engage with them. Like it's so amazing.
there's
Oh my
just
gosh.
well, again, there's so many unique facets here on LinkedIn, and so many people giving back, and each one of them here to show their support for you this evening. Because they, again, I'm pretty sure they can see where you are going, which is a great segue. Now I know that we were boasting earlier that we've made you the bionic woman around here. However, for tonight's soul song, I thought it deserved a little bit more emphasis on really what you've put into this and how far you've come. So please, for everyone at home, welcome to Michelle Ramos mental health break montage, where she really does know how to put in a little backbone.
When you're hurting deep down, when you're feeling like you're never gonna dig your way out, never gonna dig your way out, keep pushing up the river, keep mining for the silver till you strike gold. Gotta weather the storm, 'cause it can't rain forever. No, I'm telling you, we all follow hard times, you know. Each day is a hard climb, you know. Some days your body has to carry on, so you gotta show a little backbone. You know, you know, you know, you gotta show a little backbone. These troubles so real, we're all facing temptations and our own fears, year after year, but it can't rain forever. No, I'm telling you, we all follow hard times, you know. Each day is a hard climb, you know. Some days your body has to carry on, so you gotta show a little backbone. You know, you know, you know, you gotta show a little backbone. Gotta show a little backbone. You know, gotta show a little backbone. You gotta show a little backbone. Are you strong enough to get back up when the chains hold you to the ground? So let's break them down, yeah. Let's break them down. Let's break them down. Oh, I'm telling you, we all follow hard times, you know. Each day is a hard climb, you know. Some days your body has to carry on, so you gotta show it out. We all follow hard times, yeah. Each day is a hard climb, you know. We all follow hard times, you know. We all follow hard times, yeah. We all follow hard times, so you gotta show a little backbone.
That is beautiful.
Celebrating you, my lady, and so proud of how
Like,
far
that
you
little
have
girl
come.
I'm here today. Ah,
She's
why
adorable.
I'm here today. Thank you. She's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, she is. She's intelligent too. Crazy. Like it's incredibly intelligent, like beyond her years. It's almost, sometimes it gets scary because it's like I see me in her at that. It's oof, my hands are full.
Well, before
Oh,
we can let you
thank you.
leave and before we can shut things out, tell us what's new. What's coming up for you? What do you got coming down the line? Like, you just finished getting acknowledged as one of the 50 most inspirational connections on LinkedIn through Dr. Constance Leland. We've got Mike in the house tonight showing his support. Of course, our brother Gabe Leal in the house tonight showing his support. I mean, all these beautiful cats. You got to be going some big places.
I don't know. Like, I'm very humble to say that I'm in the middle of a battle, and I don't know how to fix it. And I wake up every day knowing I'm gonna fight. So I hope I get to go big places and like really, really achieve what I'm trying. But tomorrow a book is released, like on the official paper copy. It's really very humbling and surreal right now to be able to say that I'm an international best-selling author. But there it is, Rebel with a Cause. That's official releases tomorrow. So we got the Adaptive Strategies group, and that is with Keith, which above it is the Flip a Script. It's I Can Flip a Script, and that is, it started as an audio and it's morphed into podcast, YouTube, video. Like, it's and exactly what it says, like flip the script, like talking about controversial things. And we had so rebranding. It just
you're rebranding?
Yeah, like it's okay. Don't Raise Statistics is obviously a professional brand, and the Cathartic Catalyst is obviously my personal brand, but we're rebranding them to be united into one. Like, whatever you're gonna get from me professionally, that's who I am personally too. And I don't need two brands. So I know it's against status quo, against marketing, against any ethical advice you receive, but Jen Lynn is amazingly aligned with me when it comes to like how I want it and what I see, and she sees in me that I'm one and the same. Like, it doesn't matter. So she's helping me bring them together. I mean, everybody you see on here is helping do that, but yeah.
All right, so we've got you were awesome because you sent me your kind of link tree with all the little connections. So if you guys take a look into the comments, all the places that you can find Michelle Ramos are there. So we're not going to make her, because she's got a lot of different locations that you can find her on. And please connect with her today. Thank you so much, Michelle.
And give me a moment though, because the notifications aren't on.
Okay.
So when you connect, you got to give me a second. Like, I don't, I that is one thing I will say is I when I go onto social media platforms, I do it with a very specific mindset and with intent. I don't like to scroll all day. And one thing that helped me get over that aspect of life was shut off the notifications. So, yeah.
Hey, I do it on occasion too. Sometimes I can't just walk away. So sometimes it's just, I literally need to put the phone up. So I hear you. It's all good.
Yep.
Thank you again. And thank you for going to that place. We traveled down the rabbit hole tonight and we got out of it okay and unscathed. And I just thank you for going there with me tonight and sharing, because I know that there is a lot of people that are struggling out there. And for those of you that have just caught this show for the first time, please, if you're at home and struggling with a mental adversity in Canada and in the US, you can call 988. And if you are situated over in the UK, you can call 999. And both Michelle and I are strong advocates for mental health and want to see you understand that you are worthy of reclaiming and growing and coming from the same spots that we both have to achieve that which is most precious to us, and that is your happiness and your health. Well, Michelle, thank you a billion times over, and we'll be catching up a little bit next week. But what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to step back into the green room, and we're going to wrap up the show for this evening. Keep it humble and kind out there. I am loving you all, and thank you so much for the support and love for Michelle tonight. Again, that's what the show is about. Sharing those journeys and celebrating another soul, because we all deserve that celebration. Life is too short. Life is too precious to not go by and not celebrate it, which is literally the heartline of Soul Man Live. Thank you all to our sponsors for this evening, of course, of Soul Man Live, period, which is Voice Your Vibe, Leslie Flowers Enterprises, The Gifted Bipolar Writer, and of course, Jennifer Penfold, sweetnessandlightinfusions.com. Thank you to StreamYard for housing Soul Man Live, and just thank you to my family, the production team in the back, which is Brian Schulman, Nancy Deborah Barrows, Jody Muirhead, my muse, and Nicole and Guy Galindo. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted over the sides. I see flashings and stuff going on, so I'm not really sure what's going on yet. I'll figure that out later. Keep it humble and kind out there yourselves, you epic souls. I appreciate all of you for being here, and we will catch you next week. So, my muse, please, can we have that outro?